to another episode of Preferred Walk-On, a PFF college football show. I'm your host, Max Chadwick, and on this show, we interview some of the biggest stars in the sport. And recently, we did a duo episode with USC wide receivers Dorian Singer and Mario Williams. Here's another duo, Florida State running back Trey Benson and Florida State wide receiver Johnny Wilson. I talked to very, very recently in mid-August. Both of them, I think, are top 10 players in the nation at their respective positions. And actually, Trey Benson is the number one running back prospect in the 2024 NFL Draft, according to PFF's lead draft analyst, Trevor Sikkema. And as always, check out the feature article on both of these guys over at pff.com. If you want to listen to the interview, it's available wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to watch the interview, search Preferred Walk-On on YouTube. And also, major thank you to Dave Sofaro, who sets up every single one of these interviews. We've got plenty more still coming, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. But without further ado, here they are. Florida State running back Trey Benson and Florida State wide receiver Johnny Wilson. So the first question I love asking every player, Trey, is when did you know that a football career was possible?
My sophomore year of high school, when I was out there playing in my old school with some of the seniors, and I was actually doing good. And I'm a 15-year-old guy playing with guys that was like 3 years older than me, and I was doing good. So that's when I knew I had a future.
Absolutely, man. And another thing I wanted to ask you about, too, obviously you went to Oregon initially, and you suffered a pretty serious knee injury during your time at Oregon in your freshman year. What was kind of going through your mind when that happened?
I couldn't believe it. That was my first injury ever, like, throughout my football career. I was blessed throughout high school not to have an injury. But that was my first major injury, and I'm happy that it happened because it made me who I am today.
Absolutely, man. You mentioned before, too, like how your mom is obviously, you're all from Mississippi. You're all the way in Eugene. Like, that is a very far ways away. And she still made the trip up to be with you during her whole rehab process and all that. Like, how important and how much did she help you during that time in your life?
She helped me when I after surgery. Actually, me and her, like, she got a hotel. We stayed in the hotel, and she was just taking care of me. I couldn't really sleep though, but so she was always snoring and stuff. But I just couldn't sleep at all. But having her there, it took a lot of weight off my shoulders. It calmed me down. I couldn't do it without her. I'm so glad that she was there, because if she wasn't there, I was gonna have a hard time.
Dude, as someone who, with my dad in hotel rooms too, he's the loudest snorer in the world. I know how impossible it is to sleep in those hotel rooms, dude. So I definitely feel you on that. But you mentioned before how you're almost happy that this happened to you because it made you who you are today. How would you say it helped you make you who you are today?
It made me appreciate my lows, because, all this success right now, I wouldn't appreciate all my success right now if that didn't happen. So I'm just, I'm happy it made me, run angrier. It made me rehab. It made me prehab, prehab. And I feel like prehab, I'm trying to say as in like rehab, even though nothing's wrong with my knees no more, but I'm still like staying on top of it and make sure I'm getting treatment every single day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Obviously, after you tear so many muscles in your knee like that, there are a lot of players who look at their career and say, man, I don't know if I could ever go back to what I was before. Were you ever kind of doubting your abilities after a knee injury like that?
No, I couldn't. I had to come. It was too early. I ain't even got my feet wet on the field yet, so I'm like, no, I can't go out like this. I gotta come back. I gotta show the world what I can do. I ain't even have a chance to show the world what I can do. So that was my motivation. My mom, my little brothers, my motivation. Just having them there, having some of the great coaches I had at Oregon there, they kept pushing me, my trainers there. So I'm just happy like I said, I'm happy that it happened, and I'm just happy to be where I am now.
Absolutely, man. Obviously, you entered the transfer portal. You decided on Florida State. What made you decide on Tallahassee as your next home?
It's like a 7-hour drive from home. So 7 over 36, I'm picking that 7 hours because 36 hours, it was Oregon. Mississippi was 36 hours away from Oregon. So it was driving distance. Coach Norvell gave me my first offer out of high school, and we just picked up when we left off, like as soon as I hit the portal.
Absolutely, man. And obviously, you came to Florida State. I mean, they were coming off 4 straight losing seasons, man. But when did you know, obviously last year, a lot different. When did you know that the 2022 team could be a different story?
Before the season started, how hard we was working, like how it was just a different energy that this team had. The chemistry was building, and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a great year.
Absolutely, man. Trey, I gotta tell you, man, you are a PFF darling, dude. We love your game, man. You shattered our broken tackle record set by Javonte Williams a couple years ago. You forced to miss tackle like over half your carries, man, which we've just literally never seen before. Like 10 years of doing this for college football. What would you attribute your tackle breaking ability to?
I get asked this question a lot. I really don't know. I guess I just have great balance, and just the will to not want to go down. The will to just keep running angry, keep running hard, and yeah, I just been blessed with that ability.
Absolutely, man. You're kind of like a Marshawn Lynch kind of mindset when you're out there on the field.
Adrian Peterson, for sure.
Adrian Peterson. Okay, that's even better, man. I think it's a pretty good mindset to have out there, dude.
I used to watch him growing up all the time.
Oh, dude, his Oklahoma highlights I turn on maybe once a week, man. I mean, those were just stupid. Obviously, what he did with the Vikings too was insane. But listen, man, I mean, you forced 51% forced miss tackle rate last year. There's a chance to even break that this year, man. Because I saw you put on a little bit of weight this offseason. Do you kind of see a difference in your game now with this added muscle you got?
Oh yeah, obviously more defenders would be able to bounce off me because I added on probably like 8 to 10 pounds. My speed's still the same. I hadn't lost speed, and I've been I've been getting good work in the passing game too. I've been practicing on my passing, ball catching skills, and I'm just ready to showcase that as well.
Hell yeah, dude. But so I got to tell you, a lot of our draft analysts at PFF were really looking forward to you entering last year's draft if you wanted to after the year you had last year. We were all very disappointed when you decided to come back to Florida State. Those guys were, as a college football guy for me, I was so happy when he came back because I wanted to see what you guys were going to do this year. But what made you want to return to Florida State for another year?
I feel like I wasn't ready. It's so much more that I have left in the tank that I still haven't showed. Last year I was just scratching the surface. I was still nervous. Still not confident as I should have been. Last year. I was I was just happy to be on the field. But
Dude.
this year, I'm coming this year. I'm more confident, more comfortable in the system, and I'm more laid back than last year. Because last year I was so timid, and, just anxious. But this year, I'm just laid back now. So I'm glad I came back another year.
Dude, you're telling me you were running timid last year and you still broke the broken tackle rate?
I promise I was.
Dude,
before every game, I used to call my mom and she calmed me down before every game because I was so nervous. That's just how I was though. That's just how I am. I'm still the same way, but I feel like this year is just different. I'm way more laid back, way more comfortable. And, like my confidence is through the roof.
What made you so nervous for before last year's games?
I don't know. I guess just not failing. I ain't want to fail, but hey, and I just wasn't confident. That's what it was. Not me being nervous. I wasn't confident. I wasn't confident in my game. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you that, but I was just nervous.
Dude, the fact that you weren't confident in your game and you were that good last year, I mean, ACC defenses listening to this interview right now should be terrified for what's to come this year, man. Because that makes no sense to me that you weren't confident in your game and you still were that dominant last year, man. Yeah, but obviously, you weren't. Go ahead.
That was one of the reasons why I came back. I feel like I wasn't ready. I feel like I still have so much more to showcase.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to watch that. But obviously, you were not the only one who came back to Florida State. It seemed like everyone who had a chance to get drafted in the NFL decided to return. Jordan Travis, obviously Jared Verse too. Johnny Wilson, I'm going to talk to in a little bit as well. Were you guys all in kind of communication during that process saying, hey, yeah, the NFL will be there eventually, but man, we can come back and make something even more special in 2023?
Oh, yeah, we talk about it all the time, especially me, Jay Trav, and Jared, for a fact. Jared, my roommate, so I talk to him all the time. I was kind of shocked he came back, honestly. But, I was trying to talk to him come back the whole time. But I was shocked he came back, and I'm glad he came back. Jay Trav as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. How is it like being Jared Verse's roommate and, you two being two of the biggest superstars in college football?
It's just competition. We always arguing at home, we shooting paper in the trash can to see who's gonna make it first. We just come up with different things to make it competition. I'm happy to have him as a roommate though because he's made my work ethic get even better. Because he always want to work out, so anytime he work out, I go work out with him. Yeah. Outside the hours of football, like outside of us being in the stadium, we'll go work out on our own.
Dude, I can't wait to watch him try to tackle you in the NFL eventually, man. That's gonna be a lot of fun, dude. That's gonna be
And
awesome.
we talked about that all the time.
I know you tell him that he's not gonna be able to tackle you out there when you're
Nah, he
doing
won't be. Don't let him hear that though. He'll throw a fit.
Yeah, we don't need Jared Verse even angrier, man. I don't think that'll be very good for ACC offensive linemen. But listen, man, you still, even though you were one of the best backs in the country, you still didn't even hit 1,000 yards because Florida State was running such a committee backfield last year. Were you kind of getting frustrated with your lack of touches in the offense last year?
No, not at all. I like sharing the ball with the great running back Trey Benson. I'm still devastated that he left. And LT Lawrence O'Philly, that's my guy, man. That's my dog. They made sure I stayed on track, and I was happy to share the ball with them. I never got frustrated at all.
I love that, man. Another question I love asking players is, what do you think is the best play that you've made in your career so far, at least? For you, the Boston College kick return, man, is something I always go back to. But what do you think is that best play of your career so far?
I'm gonna say Miami game. It didn't count as a touchdown though. When I rolled over on my back and extended the ball, but they didn't count it as a touchdown. That was one of my favorite plays of the year.
Yeah, dude, it should have been a touchdown.
When I went back and watched that play, I'm like, oh wow, that was a crazy play. Because I rolled over on, I don't know who I rolled over on, but I rolled over on and I extended the ball, but they didn't call it a touchdown. That was one of my favorite plays.
That should have been a touchdown too, man. That was absolutely a touchdown. But listen, man, I mean, that offense you got right now is stacked. I actually put out an article a couple of days ago. I think Jordan Travis is winning the Heisman Trophy this year. But what is it like playing with Jordan Travis as your quarterback?
Man, he's elite. He a great leader. Like, he be doing things at practice. I'm like, how did he do that? But he just, poised. He laid back, comfortable, and just he always do everything at a high level.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And obviously the guy I'm going to talk to in just a second here, but Johnny Wilson, one of the best receivers in college football. What's your relationship like with Johnny, and what makes him so special?
Man, that's my dog, man. We just got done talking a few minutes ago. Man, you just throw the ball up to him, he gonna go get it. So he's a giant. Like he like creative play on Madden. That's what he is. You can just throw it up to him. He fast, physical, strong, and I'm happy that he's on the team.
Yeah, 1,000%, man. And then obviously the guy who brings it all together is Coach Norvell, who you all committed to coming out of the transfer portal. What was it about Coach Norvell that made you say, hey, that's the guy I want to play for?
I just like how he holds me accountable. He holds everyone accountable. I seen him every day. Like, I see him every day. Like, that didn't happen in my old school. I didn't see my coach in my old school every day, but I see Coach Norvell every day. He's always working on being great. He always has a smile on his face. He always brings the energy every day. He's the same person every single day. And that's what I love about him.
Absolutely, man. And I knock on wood right now, but I'm putting out my predictions pretty soon. I have you guys in the college football playoff because I think your roster, top to bottom, is just frankly ridiculous right now. But what do you think this Seminole team is capable of?
We capable of winning it all, we put in the work every day. We deserve it. We put in the work every day, going 100%, getting 1% better every day. So that's all we have to do. And continue to trust our training. Once we continue to trust our training, we'll be good. And it's going to be scary. And the team chemistry and the team bond that we have is out of this world. Like, I've never seen nothing like it before. It's an unselfish group.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And obviously all the superstars that you have at Florida State right now, basically all of them transferred into Florida State. You, Jordan Travis, Johnny Wilson, Jared Verse. Now you got a bunch more transfers coming in this year. How much of an effect do you think that, all these guys coming in from different schools and now you've all gelled together and made what I think is one of the best teams in college football?
I just feel like we came from the same situation. Nobody wanted us, and we always wanted was the opportunity to shine. And then a bunch of hungry dogs, coming together as one. That's a scary sight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So what should we expect from not only Trey Benson but the Florida State Seminoles this year?
100% effort. That's what you expect from us. 100% effort. Just unselfishness and a hard-nosed physical team.
Absolutely, man. And then what are some of your goals, both individually and for the team this year?
Just owning the ball, becoming a better leader, owning up the field, displaying my catching skills, showing people that I can catch the ball, actually. Breaking the PFL record again and breaking tackles, I guess.
Dude, I can't wait to watch that, man. I think you have a pretty good chance of doing that, honestly, dude. But obviously, look, listen, Trey. I mean, a lot of kids look at you right now, and a lot of kids who are going through injuries, maybe they look at you as an inspiration, as someone that they really look up to. What advice would you give those aspiring football players or aspiring athletes who are probably going through a pretty serious injury right now?
Basically just, just staying patient because it's hard being patient.
Mm-hmm.
You need to keep God first. Don't stay away from the negative energy. I always think positive. And, just come to work every single day and, trust the rehab.
Yeah,
And
absolutely, man.
sometimes you won't have good days, but just keep pushing because the storm won't be there. The storm won't last forever.
I love that, man. Just a couple more questions. Obviously, once you break the PFF record for forced tackles, you dominate in the NFL, you put on the gold jacket, you're a Hall of Famer. What will be Trey Benson's life after football?
That's a tough one. I think I wanted to, start my own business because my mom, she has a business right now. She
Mm-hmm.
has like a daycare. So I'm gonna pick up where she left off and, help her out.
Okay. And the last question I want to ask you, Trey, is basically the one that everyone has about Florida State right now is, listen, you guys had a great year last year, but again, like I said before, the 4 years before weren't so great. Are you all have the mindset right now saying, hey, we're trying to be even better than last year. We want to prove to everyone that Florida State is back.
Hold on. Say the last part again.
Do you think, are you going to try to prove to everyone right now that Florida State is back as one of the premier teams in college football?
Oh yes, for sure. When you come to Florida State, I'm just blessed, blessed to play at Florida State, man. It's a blessing to be here. I used to watch them growing up when Cam Akers was here, Dalvin Cook was here, Jameis Winston.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this year is gonna be fun.
Awesome, dude. Well, listen, Trey, this is an awesome interview, man. I can't wait to see you shatter the PFF record once again this year, man.
I hope so.
But best of luck this year, man. I can't wait to see what you do.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
So the first question, Johnny, I love asking every football player. There's a moment in my life when I knew, oh, a football career isn't possible. I'm actually going to media. What was the moment in your life, though, when you're like, oh, wait a minute, like I can make a college career possible and maybe down the line an NFL one too?
Honestly, it started my first year of football. I just got thrown out there to play. My mom was kind of like, trying to force me to play. I was basketball when I was younger. So like 8, 9 years old, like she just threw me out there and I don't really remember practice, but I remember my first football game and I scored like a 95-yard run. I used to play running back. I was big. And I just remember stiff arming this one dude like so bad, like just right to the floor. And I was like, that it just felt good. I don't know about like scoring a touchdown, like just running, like you hear everybody cheering for you. And it was like, okay, this is fun. I'm like, I could do this. And I was like, I'm good at it. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me keep on doing this. And it was like, I was lucky at a young age to realize that, that like this is something that I'm good at. I realized I had, those abilities at a young age. So then kind of when I got to high school, it was just like, okay, I went to Calabasas High School. They had already had dudes there before me that were D1 prospects, all this stuff. Like, and I was like, okay, coming here, like, this is it. Like, this is what I'm about to do. So,
dude, I feel so bad for that 8-year-old that took a stiff arm from Johnny Wilson, man. That is a tough. That would probably be the moment in my life where I'd be like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm not doing this anymore, man.
I think we saw that guy the next year.
That poor guy, dude. Oh my God. I hope he's doing it right now. But listen, man, you entered up at Arizona State initially. What made you want to enter the transfer portal though, and then ultimately decide on Florida State?
I think it was just time for me to, just look for another opportunity. I felt like I still had more, like I had a lot more to offer than what I was, than what I was being able to give at ASU. So, just ultimately it was, just I wasn't on the same page with like a lot of my like teammates, coaching staff. Like we weren't on the same page as far as like, where I lay in the offense or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily like me just like wanting like to get the ball or just wanting to be, but it's like you want to be involved. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you
start for 2 years and you're out there on the field and it's like you're just out there. You know what I mean? But you want to be involved. So I just got to the point where I just wanted another opportunity. Try something new, and that's how I ended up at Florida State. They were the only ones that wanted me out of the transfer portal, so I was like, you know what? I don't really have a choice, so let's go make this thing work. Like, Yeah.
Dude, the fact that nobody else recruited you out of the transfer portal. I went to Syracuse, and I'm a Syracuse fan and also a Penn State fan. I'm kind of pissed at Syracuse Penn State right now that they didn't even offer you out of the portal, but that's complete BS because now you're obviously one of the best receivers in the country, man. But honestly, dude, Florida State was, let's face it, not in a good place when you went there. You know, they're coming off 4 straight losing seasons. When did you know, though, that last year could be special and be a lot different than what they've had in the past?
Um, it was like right when I came in and like started working out and stuff. It was like coming here, you're gonna realize it's a different type of work. Like dudes all around the country, every school, they're gonna have their thing, that's supposed to be super hard, or like this is what we stand on, this is the standard. But coming here, like I ain't gonna lie, coming here was like the hardest work I've ever done, like for football. And seeing kind of like all the other guys, like how they were working too, like, and like you said, like after the season they had before that, it wasn't the best. So coming in, you could tell like, the vibes, everyone's kind of, you know what I mean, kind of uptight, you know what I mean, like, kind of down on themselves. And I'm like, shoot, dudes just got to work. But that's the one thing about our team, like no matter what happens, dudes is going to work. Dudes is going to come back and respond. So it was like we was doing tour duty when I first got here, and I'm just seeing everybody work. We got some dudes. I'm like, dudes are moving around out here, flying out here, okay. And then, we got spring ball going, and, just we started taking those steps after spring ball, summer camp, then we got the fall camp. Then it just slowly you could start kind of like seeing it come together. And then it was like after that first game or second game, we played LSU. It was like, okay, okay, like let's go. Like, we do not need to stop now. Like, we do not need to stop now. So
Absolutely, man. And obviously, you were one of the best receivers, I would say, in college football last year. You led all of them in yards per route run. What do you think separates you from other wide receivers around the country?
I mean, obviously, like I'm pretty tall. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's the main one. But also, I mean, I feel like a lot of people, they try to underestimate, my speed and my my quickness, my agility because of my height and because of how big I am. So I feel like that's like the biggest thing, I could bring to the table. I'm tall, but I could run, I could get in and out of my breaks, I can, create separation. There's not a lot of, there's not a lot of dudes my size or, even dudes slightly smaller than me that, can do some of the things that I'm doing out there. So just bringing that, like that effort every play, like it don't matter, run play, pass play, ball going to the other side of the field, like I'm acting like it's coming to me every time. Like I gotta act like, if I don't make this block, my man's gonna make the tackle. If I don't catch this ball, like we lose a game. Like, you know what I mean? So I just say, just being so like locked in and, just dialed in. I play for my team, you know what I mean? Like I want to do, I want to have a great performance for myself as well. But, as long as I'm doing what I need to do for the team to win. So that's all that matters to me.
Dude, I need to ask you, man, as someone who's below 6 feet tall, how much fun is it to absolutely moss dudes like you were last year?
It's fun, you know what I mean? But it's better, when you moss a dude that is a little taller too, you know what I mean? They feel like they could compete with you, at that level. So it's fun mossing, one of the short guys, you know what I mean? But that's what I expect out of myself, you know what I mean, going into it. It's like, dude, if you're not my height, it should be no chance. That's how I look at it, every time I go out there and, I'm running routes.
Absolutely, man. So obviously, your height really helps you out a lot. And would you say that, say if it's a 4th and 8 game on the line and Coach Norvell tells you, hey, Johnny, we're coming to you, whatever route you want to run, dude, let's do it. Would you say that a jump ball is probably the scenario you want to be in there?
Shoot, yeah. I mean, whatever it is. I mean, if he asks me what I want to run, I'll have to say, shoot, I'm going deep, super deep, but yeah, like, I've always wanted to be that guy, like big time players make big time plays. So whenever my number is called, whenever my name is called, like I want to be, ready for that moment. That's why I work so hard and I prepare, so much because, I don't want anyone to have opportunity, over me because I wasn't ready or because I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Another question I love asking players is, what do you think has been the best play of your career so far? I know a lot of people look at the Oklahoma catch for you. I think it's definitely up there. But the one I love for you, man, I think you had like a 70-yard touchdown against Georgia Tech where you juked out a defender. Like you said, you prove that you're more than just a big receiver out there.
Mhm.
But what would be the play that you'd go with so far as the best one in your career?
Oh, I'd say I'd probably say my catch in the Oklahoma game, like the last quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That was my that was my favorite. Or probably yeah, no, it was that play for sure. It was that
Yeah,
play for sure.
that's probably everyone else's too, man. I think that catch
Yeah,
was absolutely ridiculous. But
yeah.
listen, Johnny, I mean, were so good last year, man. You could have entered the draft. Like, what made you want to come back to Florida State?
We had unfinished business. I felt like I still left a lot out there on the field, and I feel like I still have room for improvement myself. And like I said, just unfinished business here. We were so close last year to, being able to do, great things with the playoffs and ACC and, compete for the national. I want it all this year. You know what I mean? I'm like, shoot, I have another year, to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Why not come back? My same team we had last year, pretty much. I want to come back and I want to win it. You know what I mean? I want to be better than I was last year. So, um, for me, it was just, just coming back, with the guys. Everyone wanted to come back. I'm like, you know what? I'm here too. Let's go. I still have room for improvement. Let's do this thing. Let's win it.
Absolutely, man. Like I said before, you weren't the only one who decided to come back. Jordan came back. Trey came back. Jared came back, which was, I think, shocked everyone too.
Yeah.
Were you guys all in kind of communication when, making that decision?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, everyone was. I mean, especially like when, I was talking to Jordan. I'm like, Jordan staying? I was like, it didn't take that long, for me to be like, okay, yeah, I'm staying. Let's do it. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, everyone already kind of like knew what they wanted to do, and everyone just wanted to do more this year. So.
Absolutely, man. And listen, I am super high on you guys this year, and I'm super high on your quarterback too, Jordan Travis. I think he's actually going to win the Heisman Trophy this year. I think he's
Oh yeah,
special.
no
What
doubt.
is it like, man, playing with Jordan? What's your relationship like with him?
Jordan, so he was like one of the first guys to like really like take me in, when I first got here. When I first got here, I just showed up on campus. I had taken no visit, no nothing. I had no clue, no friends, no one. I knew nobody on the team, but like two other people, Micah, Cam McDonald. I'm like, because they're from my hometown. So,
Mm-hmm.
our connection started, really early when I got here. We got to throw the ball around a lot. We got to just hang out, just chill, kick it, build that connection, that trust, off the field too. So, like I just feel like our connection is grown so much because like it's different when you have like your quarterback, then you have like one of your best friends and your quarterback. You know what I mean? So a lot of trust has been built, over time. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The guy I just talked to right before you came in here was Trey Benson, who's literally shattered the PFF record for broken tackles last year. Like, he was unbelievable. What's your relationship like with Trey, though?
Trey's my dog. Shoot, I think we went on a couple of visits out of high school coming together. I know when I was committed to the University of Oregon, my senior year of high school, I think he was committed there too. We had taken visits up there, and that's where we kind of first like met. And who would have thought, we was going to end up here together? That's the crazy part. Like, same thing with me and Micah Pittman. Like, who would have thought, we all would have ended up back here, at the same place. And Trey is one of those dudes, you know what I mean? Like, he's a team guy. So he wants to do everything, for the team, like no matter what it is. He got to block, he got to, sacrifice his body for a play, you know what I mean? And I love that about him because I'm like the same type of guy too. So him being able to play that way and, like it's just all like, it's all love, you know what I mean? Like, he's like a brother to me. So I just want to have his back as much as possible. He run into the edge on my side, you know what I mean? I want him to know that I got him. Like, I'm not going to let my dude tackle you. So, like he's one of my brothers, so we all kind of tight, especially on the offense. So it's like every day, just seeing like one of my brothers.
Absolutely, dude. And what makes him so special on the field?
Trey, he runs hard. He runs hard as heck. No one, I told him like last year, I told him one game, I forget what it was. I'm like, bro, just run. They don't want to tackle you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you may think they try to tackle, they don't want to tackle you. And it was kind of like after that, I remember I just started seeing him just go, go. Dudes bouncing off of him. I'm just like, this dude's strong and fast as heck. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, he got that. I'm like, he got that. Cause like Trey, he don't make too many moves, but that boy got speed and he's strong as hell. So, like that's great. In our backfield too, we got so many running backs, they all got their own play style too. So, Trey doing that, you know what I mean? Like it helps everybody on offense, especially at receiver.
Dude, he's got that 8-year-old Johnny Wilson stiff arm down pat, dude, for sure. Yeah,
he perfected that.
He perfected that for sure, dude. But obviously, the ground game is going to be unbelievable for you guys this year. The aerial attack for you guys is going to be ridiculous. I mean, you got Travis, and then you got a couple transfers coming in too, dude, and Keon Coleman, Jaheim Bell. How special do you think this receiving core can be for Florida State?
Oh man, the potential for this receiving group and just the passing attack in general, like we have the potential to be the best. You know what I mean? Like, the best. And I'm not like right now. Like we're still developing, and dudes are still trying to get everything down packed. And but once everyone is, you know what I mean? Like once come game one, like there should be no reason why we're not the best. Like passing attack in the country. You feel me? So Keon and Jaheim, they both came in, they were sponges, wanted to learn the whole playbook quick. And having them dudes out there, you know what I mean? It feels like the game, slows down for you a little bit as well. You got this dude on this side, you got this dude on the inside, and you're like, okay, like that puts the defense in, kind of like panic. They don't got to be like, okay, he's out here. Okay, that's it. We just got to worry about Johnny. Oh, no, we got Keon, Jaheim. We got, even the young dudes too. Like, they got to be aware for everybody. So, having those dudes come in, and even like the young guys, like I said, everyone's just been willing to work, and the potential is through the roof.
Dude, I don't know how defenses are going to attack you guys this year. With you guys, Jordan potentially running too, Trey running, obviously, it's going to be impossible. But it's why, honestly, man, I have you guys as one of my playoff teams this year. I think, knock on wood, obviously, but I think you guys have one of the most loaded rosters in the country. What do you think this Seminole team is capable of, though?
Oh, I say it all the time. Like, I came back for a national championship. Like, everyone's on ACC first. I'm like, I play for it all. You know what I mean? You're going to play for it all. So, but like genuinely speaking, I'm like, go look at every other team like in the country, and they're not us. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have the guys that we have. They don't have the coaching that we have. They don't live by the same standard that we do. And so like, I feel like us knowing all that too, like the whole team, like if everybody knows that and realizes that, there should be no reason why everyone, like people don't want to come and, get their best effort and work hard and understand that, that is a very high possibility for us if we really want it. So, yeah, it's championship or nothing. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, dude.
We won 10 games last year, but we ain't champions, so
come for it all this year, bro. I think there's a chance you guys do it. And obviously, you mentioned Coach Norvell too. You obviously all committed to play for Coach Norvell at some point. What made you want to play for Coach Norvell?
Shoot. Right when I reached out to Coach Norvell, like when I entered the transfer portal, I reached out to a couple of schools, and Coach Norvell was the only one to actually reach back out to me. So I got on the phone with him, and I was like, okay, this guy's pretty intense, you know what I mean? But he's pretty intense. But we were on the phone for a couple of hours actually when, he first started trying to recruit me at the portal. And, he just broke down to me. He was like, how I could be used and like how, what I have to offer. But the main thing he was just like, you just got to work. You just got to work. You just got to be able to willing to put in the work and trust your coaching. And for me, it was just like, one, that was my only opportunity, really. And two, like, this is my only opportunity. I'm like, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna make the most out of it. You know what I mean? Like, that was like the hard part, you know what I mean? Just like I didn't even really have too many options. So it was like um there wasn't much he could have said, he could have said, you might not ever play here. And I still would have came.
Hmm.
That's the thing. Like I still would have came because, that's just the position I was in. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I made that decision though, because I finally got here and I got to, really see what everyone was about and really experience it. And I was like, okay, I mean, they want us to be our best. They want us to, they love us. They want us to ball, but they just want us to work, work for it. And I'm like, it's not that hard to understand. So,
Yeah, yeah, exactly, dude. And what's funny about your team, honestly, is that so many of you, all the stars basically are transfers. Jared came in from the transfer portal. You came in. Jordan came in. Trey came in. You got all these guys coming in this year too. How has it been, gelling with all these guys that obviously come from everywhere around the country?
it's like once you get here, we're all one, and you kind of get that sense of like family, like real quick. Like, when you get here, it's like there's no individualism here, like at all. Like everyone's doing everything together. Like somebody's doing something with somebody else on the team. Like we all just hang out with each other. Like the transfers, like someone is going to bring you in. You know what I mean? Like you get here, like someone's going to bring you in and get you around the people. So, like that's kind of what happened to me. And like, I came in, Jordan brought me around the guys, and like Deuce, when Deuce came in, with me, same time, like Micah, like, brought up, we were the new guys. So, we started trying to, like talk to each other, see what they think, how is it here compared to your last school and this and that. So,
Hmm.
um, I don't know. It was pretty easy, you know what I mean? Especially like with all the work that you got to do, like we work here. So you don't got much time to really think about everything else. You got to be locked in. You got to get the dudes, going with the program and everything. So um, like this place isn't made, for everybody. Like you got to come here and you got to be a part of this team. You got to do what's best for this team. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. There's a few more, obviously, but I wanted to ask you, what are some of your individual goals this year, and what are some of your team goals for Florida State this year as well?
Shoot, individual goals. I want to catch every ball thrown to me, not even, that touch my head, every ball thrown to me. And as a team, I want that championship. I want
Yep.
that championship. No better feeling. I haven't won a championship since my freshman year of high school. So um, that's what I'm itching for right now. Yeah.
You have a good shot at it too this year, Johnny. But what should we expect from Johnny Wilson, and what should we expect from Florida State this year too?
Shoot, you can expect a lot of big plays from me this year. You can expect me, to play my heart out. Same thing, I did last year. That's just part of who I am. And this team, they have potential to be, one of the greatest teams here, like at Florida State ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I really see us being that. I really see us, doing that and reaching the goals that we wanted to reach, that national championship, the ACC. Um, we can't lose a game this year. Like that's how I feel because we are so talented. And I know these dudes. I see every day, I see them work. You know what I mean? I'm like, we had a potential to win every single game this year. Like, no doubt.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely, man. And another one I wanted to ask you was that, there are a lot of kids who look at you right now as one of their heroes and someone that they really, are inspired by. What advice would you give those kids that maybe like you in the transfer portal when you weren't really having that many offers, a lot of these kids that maybe aren't receiving the offers that they thought they'd be getting right now. What advice would you give to those aspiring athletes right now?
shoot, I would just say, just keep working. Hard work works. I've believed in that since I was a kid. At some point you will get an opportunity and it's all up to you, about what you're going to make with that opportunity. So um, that's all I would say, just take advantage of every opportunity you get because, you only get so many. And coming from my experience, like entering the portal, I didn't think it was going to be one school I didn't think it was only going to be one school that wanted me. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
going from a high school 5-star, 4-star, and having 50 college offers and stuff, and then going to college and then entering the portal and having nothing. It's like you're back at like the bottom of the barrel again. You know what I mean? So um, then getting here and just working my butt off. You know what I mean? Like I worked my butt off last year. When I got here, and it doesn't stop. So hard work works, and just take advantage of the opportunity you get.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So once you put on the gold jacket, once you're an NFL Hall of Famer, what will be Johnny Wilson's life after football?
Johnny Wilson's life after football, I probably have, if I do it the right way, I probably have my own community, all my kids, grandkids, living in the same community, homies, and should I probably be coaching for coaching for like the Rams or something like.
All right. Yeah, that works, man. I think, yeah, I mean, pretty awesome coach too, man, for sure. But the last question I want to ask you, obviously you guys were unbelievable last year, but there are a lot of people still doubting you guys as whether or not that was legit. What would you say to those people and say, hey, no, Florida State is really back and we're going to be even better than last year, man?
Um, Stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's not really much to say because you can say all that you want and still go out there and not do what you're saying. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, there are going to be people that doubt our team, have low expectations for us, but um, we have nothing to prove to them. You know what I mean? We know what we're capable of. Um, we know who we got, in the building and in the room on the field. So, um, I mean, it really doesn't fade. Like, it really doesn't phase us. You know what I mean? Like, I hear it sometimes. I see it. It's like it goes and then through one ear, out the other, or like see it with my eyes and then just go blind, we really don't focus on it because, we know what we can do. So, yeah, for the people that say, it was just a fluke last year, you just got to watch and see this year. And then if we prove you right, then you can say whatever you want, but it's going to happen. So, yeah.
I don't think you're going to prove them right, dude. But
Exactly.
last one I do want to ask you, though, man, I think Florida State LSU is definitely one of the best games of the year. But, man, how freaking pumped are you, man, for what, 2 weeks from now for that LSU game?
Yeah, no, I can't wait. I mean, that's all we've been doing. All I've been doing since, spring. As soon as that season ended, it's preparation for the first game. And that's what I've been doing. And I've been just sometimes I can't sleep because I'm up, I'm just watching film, just looking at stuff that they were doing last year or watching the spring game or you know what I mean? Like sometimes I got to tell myself I got to go to bed. I got practice in the morning, but I can't wait. You know what I mean? I can't wait. It's a big game. It's a big game because we're in it. And I can't wait. I want to be 2-0, 2-0 against these guys. So yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Johnny, this is an awesome, awesome interview, dude. I can't wait to see what you guys do this year. Maybe a couple more stiff arms from you this year.
Yeah.
We're pretty awesome, man.
For
But
sure.
yeah, best of luck this year, man.
Thank you.